Humans like to believe they understand power. We measure it in obvious ways: size, intelligence, technology, control over the environment. We look at our cities, our machines, our ability to reshape landscapes and even alter the climate, and we come to a simple conclusion: we are the dominant species on Earth. 8 billion humans, spread across continents, connected by invisible networks, capable of communicating across the planet in seconds. We have built systems so complex that no single individual fully understands them, yet we rely on them every day. We look at this and assume there is nothing that rivals us. But that assumption depends on how you define power, because beneath our feet, inside our walls, under forests, deserts, and mountains, there exists another civilization, one that does not rely on technology, does not need language, and does not struggle with division. A civilization that has quietly mastered something humanity has never fully achieved: total unity. Ants are everywhere. They exist in nearly every ecosystem on Earth, from dense jungles to dry deserts, from urban environments to remote wilderness. They adapt with ease, surviving in conditions that would challenge even the most advanced human systems. And their numbers are almost impossible to comprehend. There are approximately 20 quadrillion ants on this planet. To understand that number, you have to break it down. That is 20 quadrillion individual ants. For every human alive today, there are more than 2.5 million ants. Imagine standing in a crowded city, surrounded by thousands of people. Now multiply that crowd by millions, and you begin to approach the scale at which ants exist relative to us. But unlike humans, ants are not scattered individuals pursuing their own goals. They are part of something larger, something more coordinated, something in many ways more efficient. An individual ant is simple. It does not possess self-awareness. It does not contemplate existence. It does not create art, philosophy, or technology. Its brain is tiny, its behavior largely driven by instinct and chemical signals. If you look at a single ant, it seems insignificant, almost meaningless. But this is where humans make a critical mistake, because ants are not meant to be understood individually. They are meant to be understood collectively. A colony of ants functions as a single organism, not metaphorically, but functionally. Each ant plays a role similar to a cell in a body. Workers gather food, soldiers defend, nurses care for the young, and the queen ensures reproduction. No single ant has a complete understanding of the colony, yet the colony as a whole behaves with remarkable coordination. There is no central authority giving commands in real time. There is no leader directing strategy. Instead, ants rely on a decentralized system of communication using pheromones, chemical signals that guide behavior. When one ant finds food, it leaves a trail. Other ants detect that trail and follow it. If the food source is strong, the trail becomes stronger as more ants reinforce it. If it disappears, the trail fades. From these simple interactions, complex patterns emerge. Efficient paths are optimized. Resources are allocated. Decisions are made, not by individuals, but by the system itself. Humans, despite all our intelligence, often struggle to achieve this level of coordination. We require planning, discussion, negotiation. Even then, our systems are prone to inefficiency, conflict, and failure. Ants achieve similar outcomes without any of those processes, and they do it continuously, relentlessly, without rest. This is what makes them powerful. Not intelligence in the human sense, but a kind of distributed intelligence. an emergent property of millions of simple interactions, and it allows them to accomplish things that seem almost impossible. There are ants that farm. Leafcutter ants, for example, do not eat the leaves they collect. Instead, they use those leaves to cultivate fungus, which serves as their primary food source. Entire colonies are sustained by this agricultural system, maintained with precision and consistency. They protect their crops from disease, remove contaminants, and ensure optimal growth conditions. This is farming, developed not through conscious innovation, but through evolution. Other ants practice a form of animal husbandry. They farm aphids, small insects, that produce a sugary liquid called honeydew. Ants protect these aphids from predators, and in return, harvest the honeydew as a food source. It is a mutually beneficial relationship, maintained and managed by the colony. Some species take this even further. There are ants that enslave other ants. They raid neighboring colonies, capture their young, and force them to work as part of their own system. The enslaved ants perform tasks for the colony that captured them, often without any awareness of their original identity. This is not cruelty in the human sense. It is efficiency. It is survival. And it demonstrates a level of behavioral complexity that challenges our assumptions about what simple organisms are capable of. Ants also wage war. Not random, chaotic violence, but organized, large-scale conflict between colonies. These wars can involve thousands, even millions of individuals. They fight over territory, resources, and survival. Some species specialize in aggression, launching coordinated attacks that overwhelm their enemies through sheer numbers. Others are more defensive, building fortified nests and using chemical weapons to repel invaders. There are ants that spray formic acid, burning and disabling their opponents. There are ants that sacrifice themselves, rupturing their own bodies to release sticky, toxic substances that trap and kill enemies. These are not acts of emotion. They are functions of the system. Every action serves the colony. Every sacrifice increases its chances of survival, and because of this, ants operate with a level of efficiency that humans rarely achieve. There is no hesitation, no fear, no second guessing, only response. Now consider their scale again. 20 quadrillion. If even a fraction of that number is mobilized, the impact is enormous. Army ants, for example, move in massive swarms, consuming everything in their path. Insects, small animals, anything that cannot escape is overwhelmed. Fire ants can form living structures, linking their bodies together to survive floods, creating rafts that protect the queen and the colony. They adapt instantly to changing conditions. They solve problems in real time, and they do all of this without centralized control. This is where the comparison to humans becomes uncomfortable, because for all our intelligence, we are deeply limited by our inability to fully cooperate. Human societies are divided by geography, politics, culture, and ideology. We compete for resources, for power, for influence. Even when cooperation would benefit us, we often fail to achieve it. Ants do not have this problem. They are unified by design. Every ant is aligned with the colony's goals. There is no conflict of interest, no competing agendas, and that gives them an advantage that is difficult to overstate. Now imagine introducing one variable into this system: intelligence. Not just simple problem solving, but human-level awareness, reasoning, and strategic thinking. If ants retained their current structure, their unity, their numbers, their efficiency, but gain the ability to think like humans. The balance of power on Earth would change completely. They would not need to build technology to compete with us. They would not need to match our inventions or replicate our systems. Because their greatest strength is not what they lack. It is what they already have. Numbers, coordination, resilience. A human civilization can be disrupted, cut off supply chains, disable infrastructure, create enough instability, and systems begin to fail. Ant colonies are far more resilient. Destroy part of a colony, and the rest continues. Disrupt their environment, and they adapt. Eliminate thousands, and millions remain. They do not rely on fragile networks. They are the network. With intelligence, that network would become strategic, deliberate, focused. They could identify patterns, exploit weaknesses, and optimize their behavior in ways that go far beyond instinct. They could spread with purpose, not just opportunity. They could coordinate across vast distances, not just local environments. And because of their numbers, even small improvements in efficiency would scale into massive advantages. But this scenario remains hypothetical because ants are not human. They do not think like we do. They do not question, imagine, or innovate beyond what evolution has shaped them to do. And that limitation is crucial. It is the reason why, despite their numbers and efficiency, they do not dominate the planet in the way humans do. Humans possess something ants do not: the ability to think beyond instinct, to create new systems, to adapt intentionally, not just reactively. But that ability comes with trade-offs. We are not unified. We are not perfectly efficient. We are not always aligned. And that raises an important question. What truly defines dominance? Is it intelligence or is it unity? Ants represent one extreme: perfect cooperation, minimal intelligence. Humans represent the other: high intelligence, imperfect cooperation. Both have strengths, both have limitations, and the balance between them shapes the world we live in. Ants are not villains. They are not secretly plotting against humanity. They are not waiting to rise or evolve into something more. They are simply following the path that evolution has given them. But their existence challenges our assumptions. They show us that power does not always come from complexity. That simplicity, when multiplied at scale, can become something extraordinary. They remind us that intelligence alone is not enough, that without cooperation, even the most advanced species can struggle. And perhaps most importantly, they force us to reconsider our place in the world. Because while humans may control the surface, build the cities, and shape the future, ants have already mastered something deeper, something quieter, something far more consistent. They have mastered the art of working as one. And in a world where unity often determines survival, that might be the most powerful trait of all.